Hi, my name is Allie Kincaid, and I am the writer of Oregon Trail, a web series that you can view on this very YouTube channel. Today I am going to be talking to you a little bit about how to write for independent film, and by that I mean writing within a really small budget, particularly for web series. My first tip is just start. Mike Birbiglia, who is an amazing comedian and writer, wrote an article that I'll link to in the description about how to make it small in Hollywood. His advice is the same as mine. Just start. You have a million reasons to delay writing your masterpiece. Go start as soon as you are done watching this video. One of my mentors is named Bonnie Gillespie, and she has this saying that I say to myself and to other creatives all the time, which is that you have to launch at 85%. You're never going to be perfectly happy with what you're doing. It's not going to be up to your taste at this point, and that's okay. You just have to get your work out there. I got the idea for Oregon Trail in January, and I wrote it, and I revised it, and I worked really hard on it, and then we shot it. We shot it in May and June, and we released the first episode in September. So it's a pretty quick turnaround, which I wanted because I knew that the more momentum I had, the more likely it would be that it would actually get done. My next tip is probably the most important tip for somebody who is writing on a budget, and that is write simply. Good low-budget filmmaking is a little bit of a white whale, and I think that is because filmmakers tend to bite off more than they can chew. Write something easy to shoot in terms of style and locations. Oregon Trail was not super easy to shoot, but it was a lot easier to shoot than a lot of other projects I've seen with similar budget. Don't write a fantasy or a sci-fi or a period piece. Don't write anything requiring visual effects or practical effects. These are all amazing things. It's not to say that they're bad at all, but if you're on a budget and if you have a time crunch and if you're not super experienced, those things are going to kill you in terms of cost and in terms of time and in terms of your soul. I wrote Oregon Trail mockumentary style for a really specific reason, and that reason was cost. The audience is a lot more forgiving of things like awkward camera moves or something being out of focus for a second and that kind of thing. So pick something that is easy in style to shoot. Pick something that can be shot in one location. We shot ours at a state park. You could shoot on someone's farm, at someone's apartment, shoot in a local business that will let you use their property after hours. Make it something you can do in one location and one cheap location. Don't write crowd scenes. If you find yourself writing a scene that requires 100 extras to look at the main character, scale it back. Make your story self-contained. You should be able to tell a story with like 6 characters. Next, write with specificity. Find a unique, authentic niche. This is something that I see lacking in a lot of web series. I'm not trying to trash on web series about actors trying to make it in New York and LA. They're really relatable because that's what I'm trying to do as well, but they're not super interesting to watch because they've been done hundreds of times. So find something else. A go-to story at a cocktail party, something funny from your childhood, make a web series about that. Another tip is to write for the actors you have access to. I wrote Oregon Trail for our improv troupe in On the Joke, and it made it so much easier to write, and then you don't have to worry about casting, because if you're trying to find really, really specific characters, it's gonna slow your process down, especially if you don't have a huge budget. None of us got paid to act in the first season of Oregon Trail. Please like, comment, and subscribe so that we can get paid for future seasons. We really believed in the project. Having a character written for you is really flattering for an actor. My next tip is learn the style. You want to learn the style of web series in general and for the specific genre that you're shooting. Read screenplays and teleplays for projects that you admire. This is especially important if, like me, you didn't go to school for screenwriting. I learned how to write mockumentary by reading a ton of shooting scripts for The Office to see how those scripts were put together. Find a show that's similar in style to the web series you want to write, and then Google the name of the show plus teleplay or shooting script and look for PDF results. There are a ton of them out there. Then watch a lot of web series. Get yourself acquainted with the community that you're entering. Stareable is a really great resource. It's a database of all kinds of different web series. You can search by genre, by keyword, etc. Something I always tell to new content creators is to go watch the original Broad City web series that is still up on YouTube. It's pretty low production value, but the writing and the ideas are what sell it. Look at web series festivals, see what wins, try and get inspiration from that as well. My last tip for you today is invest in the script. Now, we all know that even in really low budget filmmaking, there are things you shouldn't skimp on. A good DP, good sound, but production is a whole other video. So you also want to invest in the script itself. Surround yourself with people who have good taste, people who you trust. Write a lot, revise a lot, be willing to let go of good ideas if they don't fit with the flow of your script. Have read-throughs upon read-throughs in your living room. Get each episode, if you're writing a web series, down to a tight 6 pages or so. Have read-throughs with your cast before you shoot to see what sounds good, to see if they have ideas because you've written these characters for them after all, and revise as necessary. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this was helpful. As I said at the beginning of the video, just start and everything else will fall into place if it's meant to be. If you have more questions, put them in the comments. If you have a web series that you feel like people watching this video could use as their inspiration when they're doing their homework, put it in the comments. As always, be sure to like and comment and subscribe and share with your friends, and have a great day, YouTube.